Again, I don't remember what I paid for these, but I know I didn't get a super cheap deal on these because some of these appear to be new old stock. Okay, so this is a keyless chuck made in Italy, 0 to 3/8. So I don't know who the maker is on that, on a Morse taper. This one is a no-name 1/8 inch to 5/8, 3-16. It's marked just like a Albert, but it is not marked Albert anywhere, so just going to assume that that's a import. And this one is a genuine Albert. And so isn't this big guy right here. This is a nice one. This is a this is an 1/8 to 5/8. And then these are the ones that I paid good money for because they are on sensitive drilling attachments. So this is an Albert, brand new, on a sensitive drilling attachment. And this is also a brand new Albert chuck in the box with the sensitive drilling attachment. It hasn't even been installed on it yet. So pretty cool. Then there was this thing. It intrigued me. I had no idea what to he had like inventory numbers on this so you could keep track of stuff. It wasn't $5 for this. Old box. Interesting old piece. And neither one of us really knew what to value this at. So he ended up giving me a pretty good deal on this, I'm sure, because I wouldn't have bought it if I couldn't get a really good deal on it, just because it's an unusual, funky deal here. So I think part of the problem that we had discovered was that we cannot find any maker's name anywhere on here, so that's why it kind of made it kind of difficult to value. It has a built-in, pretty precise level in it. So that's probably going to have to go in my collection just because I wouldn't even know what to ask for it. Actually, I see now, right here, there is a mark. What do you call those? So the mark, the lower one looks like a pound sign in a circle. And the top one is looks almost like a character in an Asian alphabet, like Chinese or Japanese maybe, I don't know. There's like a number or something here. It's just nothing to definitively tell me who the hell makes this thing. But it's an interesting piece for sure. Looking at these other pieces in here, we've got, that almost looks like a stop. So I don't know if that's a stop that's supposed to clamp on like that maybe. And this, okay, that looks like that. Well, this fine adjustment knob, which is what I think this is anyways, is got some issues. See how it only goes on that far. But if I turn it around, it does thread on, which tells me that that's the end here. It's really, the threads are really worn. And then this is supposed to be a square drive, but I think that's actually rounded over enough so that when you put this on, it's not actually turning that. So I don't know if I'm ever going to figure out what that thing is, but posted some pictures online, a couple of sites, see if anybody recognizes it. Moving along, let's see what else we got here. Here is a Mitutoyo rolling mechanical micrometer. And this one actually does still work. The Peacock dial gauge. Very shallow. Interesting. Drop indicator. It's very shallow. It's like brand new. Peacock usually is Japanese. Here's a couple of just random angle blocks. No maker's name on these, I don't think. Oh, they're Fowlers. So we got a 45 and a 30 Fowler angle blocks. And then this is kind of neat. This is a V block that you can actually adjust the angle. So you got a screw down here you tighten once you set this to the angle that you want. And then in these boxes right here, we have these really early hole gauges. These are called Quick Check by the Allied Products Division of the Hamilton Watch Company. So these are kind of cool. Looks like an old hypodermic needle or something. And I think these are pretty much identical except for the size range that they do. So yeah, there's the other one. All right, so let's take a closer look at one of these. So the way that this works is we've got a tapered pin, and this thing's got a little bit of a spring load to it, so this can shoot out, okay? But then it automatically, when this is released, there's a little break in there. So the idea is that the further out this extends into the hole, obviously the further up this taper, it will stop, and that will correspond to the number that's in the window here. So the idea is you would insert this into your hole. So this one apparently is good for up to 70 thousandths. So I'm just going to use my drill gauge here because I have some holes on here. So pretty straightforward. You take it and you insert it into the I'm going to insert it into the number 60 drill bit hole, which is 40 thousandths. Okay, I'm going to press this release button so I can bring this all the way down until it touches, and then I'm going to release the lock, pull it back out, and now I just take a measurement here in the window. I take a reading right here in the window, and I'm reading about 41.5 thou. And I'm thinking that probably the issue isn't with the device, it's probably with my drill check here, my gauge. Try another one. 56 is actually 46 thou. I'm reading 47. So that's within a thousandth. That's pretty good. I have no idea what these are worth. Well, easy enough to figure out, right? All right, so looks like I've got this one is good up to 70 thousandths, and then this one here is good from 70 thou to 300 thou by the looks of it. If I'm reading this correctly, I'm not quite sure. I guess the Hamilton company made these for watch and clock making, and that makes sense because they're for really small holes. But the I guess they also made a version where they put 3 of these in one kit. So I've seen those on eBay. The 3-in-1 kit, there's one of those for sale on eBay right now. I think the person's asking like $150 or somewhere around there for it. So they're interesting. I don't think I've ever seen them before, and that's what attracted me to them. Next group of stuff. Some of this stuff actually goes in the trunk of the car. I honestly don't remember where I got it from. But there's some good stuff here. This is a Steroid hook rule, but it's got a beveled knife edge to the scale. So that's kind of neat. I don't have one like that. This is just a blade for a Brown and Sharp combination protractor head. This is just a piece of steel. This is a bench block. Has the look of a Steroid or Brown and Sharp, but it's actually marked Wentworth 1932 EH. So I'm guessing that the guy's name was E.H. Wentworth, and that he made this in 1932, probably in a Voltec type of setting. but it's a nice little bench block. Another one of these little hand vices. Then the rest of this stuff, I'm pretty sure we're back to the pick that I've been working on here. Another one of these, number 62, blade holders. Kind of cool. This one's probably the best condition of all of them so far, maybe, except for the one that had the blue paint on it. So again, very clean, nice piece. A Noga, got some surface rust on it, but it's a genuine Noga articulating mag base indicator holder. Okay, so these are the this is the style that you get the one knob here, and you lock this one knob, and it locks this joint and this joint and this joint simultaneously. Which these are really nice. If I don't already have a couple of these, I would probably keep that one. Another one of these Mitutoyo indicators that I liked so much. I got one of these not too long ago, so I guess now I can sell one. Brown and Sharp box with 1, 2, 3 blocks. Nice clean ones. A Mitutoyo brand, kind of rusty, but a Mitutoyo brand screw pitch gauge, one of the large ones. One of these Steroid drill and wire standard plates, number 283. A Steroid dial indicator pocket gauge and case, number 1010. This is one of these little thickness gauges. Really nice clean one. Working perfectly. Great shape. With the original vinyl pouch and the original box. Some Steroid screw jack sets. So we've got this goes with this little one. So we get a partial small set and a partial large set. Little fly cutter. Oh, I ended up finding a couple more pieces, but the small one, again, is for the small jack. Alright, let's see what else is left in this box. Here's a, I think it's a Brown and Sharp inside micrometer. Or it's almost like a caliper micrometer, I think is what they call these. It's a Brown and Sharp 252. Unfortunately, it appears to be completely locked up. Yeah, I can't get it to move at all. Here's a neat little Brown and Sharp square. Here's a Steroid 196 back button, back plunge indicator on a unidentified, quite possibly Steroid mount. This is an interesting little piece. This is a Brown and Sharp depth micrometer of a design that's made so that you have just one rod and you loosen this nut and slide the rod down to these different lines that are on here. They're kind of hard to see. And it actually, there's almost like a little click right at each line. So you just rough adjust it to your lines on here, tighten it, and then do your fine adjustment here. So, interesting little piece. A Mar Federal microcator. So this is a very sensitive, high resolution, low range indicator. This is in 1 micrometer per division. So this is for inspection work. And these are called comparators. So this typically would be used on a comparator stand. Here's the ever so popular, I usually have no trouble selling these normally. 269A taper gauge. But it appears as though somebody has modified this one and cut some of them shorter, probably for doing blind holes, but I'm sure that's gonna raise havoc with the value on this one. And here we have a 29-degree screw thread tool gauge. It's interesting, I do not see a name on it. Huh. Nice little Steroid parallel clamp. This is something weird that somebody did to this micrometer head. Started out its life as a regular micrometer head, and then I don't know what the heck they did here, but I got it for free, and the reason why I took it was I thought it had a good ratchet, but it doesn't. Not even that's good on it. That's junk. Get to this in a second. And then there's this nice piece here. This is a, pretty sure this is a Brown and Sharp, or actually it could be a Steroid. I think they both made these. So this is a layout tool, and I was luckily able to spot this little cone piece and realized from memory, from seeing these, that this is actually an accessory for this piece. So I think the way this works is you can take out, yeah, I'm gonna stab myself. There. All right, I think you take this out and you put this in. Yeah. All right, so now you could, theoretically, you could put this in a hole and you could scribe a mark over to another spot, right? Kind of a neat piece. And then this, first glance I thought this was just a regular fly cutter. Actually looks like maybe somebody made this, but it's interesting the design they chose to use in this particular fly cutter. They almost made it like a boring head. So if we loosen this screw right here, which tightens the dovetail, then we could turn this, and there's actually even graduations they put on here. So the idea being you would turn this for fine adjustment of this fly cutter more like a boring head, which makes me wonder if that's not what they intended to do here, was make this a yeah, I'm looking at the clearance here and I'm thinking, yeah, quite possibly might be able to do both. I don't know. All right, I think I'm going to stop here, and we'll pick up the rest of this in another episode, because I've got a whole nother box to go through.